Hey, welcome back to Main Irish Angling TV. Today we're going to look at some pike floats, mainly because cold weather's coming in now. It's mid-September as we make this video, and that means one thing. Bait fish are going to shoal together, pike are going to start going on the prowl. September, October are probably the best months for pike ever. So starting with the very top, we're going to look at the floats that are available here at Main Irish Angling. These are all the Fox range. Fox make the best floats on the market, in my opinion. We've got the loaded lift deadbait pencil. Now this is retailing at €3.95, so it's not going to break the bank. Basically, it has a little piece of lead stuck into the bottom of the actual float. Float is that plastic material, that heavy-duty plastic that seems to work so well in the Fox range. That's great for dead baiting if you're on canals or anything like that, or pretty much still water. It's going to work well for you. They have the dead bait pencils retailing for $3.95, which are similar to the loaded dead bait pencils, except for they don't have the extra lead in them. Inline trollers. Inline trollers, if you're doing a lot of lake work and you need to keep a bait sort of and the line off the bottom, sort of pretty snaggy water, certainly going to give it a big help to you. They have these in all different sizes, so that's small, medium and large, and that's €3.35 as well. And as I said, they have a little tubing inside them so that you don't actually need to use a float stop on them. What you do is you let the line out on a slack line, the bait will drop to the level that you want it to drop to, and then as you tighten up and start trolling, the tube in the middle of the float locks the line in place so it stays where it should be. Now, paternoster sunk floats are really, really popular if you're like me and you like just to sit behind a barrage of rods and bobbins, then these are a great addition to your armoury. Basically, they're going to allow you to suspend a bait up off the bottom, but keep it sunken away from boats that may be sailing in the water or prying eyes to know where you're actually fishing. So it's a great way of presenting baits for pike. Live bait slider, well, look, we don't use live baits in Ireland, but live bait sliders, they're great buoyant floats, great for trotting dead baits down rivers, especially in turbulent water, brilliant. Fluted slider, pretty much the same deal. They also have the high visibility dart, so if you're actually whacking a bait out a long way but still wanting to use a float, then using something with a high vis vane on it like that is going to help no end. Also, they kind of catch the wind a little bit and can move the bait around so it'll search out the pike in the water. Stubby slider. Now, as I said, these floats are all retailing around the $3.39 mark. The live bait sliders are $2.39. The sunk paternosters are anywhere between $2.99 and $3.95. So you're all pretty much sub €4 on all of the floats. They have stubby sliders, again, doing what they say on the tin, great for canal work if you're using a small little bait. They have slimline slider. Slimline sliders are probably one of the most common pike floats on the market. Ball bobs, again, not something that I've used a huge amount of, but they used to use a lot of these in the fen drains. Great for supporting heavy baits and, sort of certainly helping keep the bait sort of more roving around in the wind. As I said, the fluted slider is there. So pretty much every base is covered with the float range here at Main Irish Angling. All Fox, and the reason why they stock mainly Fox floats is because they're the best on the market. Something else that they have here, if you're into it, is the System Drifter. Now this, I have to say, is probably the most exciting way to catch pike. When we started off using these were the brainchilds of Eddie Turner and his buddy. ET Products brought them out, and you had to grease up your main mono line, and it was a real pain and it was awful. Now with the modern technology of floating braids, you don't need to worry about these things. So if you want to sort of search out the most optimum piece of water, for $8.51, what you get is your float, you get your vane, and you get basically the stem inside and another float to kind of help you drift through the water. Brilliant way of searching out large expanses of water. I have used these in the past. My biggest is only 14.5 pound, 14.12 I think it was, from Blessington on Maze Bay. But I did take the fish at about 175 to 200 yards out, which was quite an experience. So yeah, check these out if you're into a little bit more adventurous style fishing. You need you know, for that type of fishing, you need a 13-foot rod. You need a braided main line, as I say, that's floats. So it's quite specialised, and only tackle it if you know what you're doing. So that's the float range of fox pike floats at Main Irish Angling. Check them out and check us out in the next video.